Photoshoppers, what's good? How you doing? Bet you're here to see a cool video, aren't you? Well, I have one for you. Okay, so this week I was messing around in Photoshop like always. When am I not? I actually came across this cool blog someone posted, and they posted a blog about double exposuring. And so I researched what double exposure was, and it's actually a pretty cool effect. So, playing around in Photoshop, I created a cool double exposure effect I think you guys are going to like. So in case you are curious what double exposure is, basically what it is you're overlapping a photo onto another photo to create an awesome photo within an awesome photo. If that makes any sense whatsoever, that's what it is. And double exposure is actually quite popular, or it's been trending for a while now. This past summer, it was a very cool trend among the photography people. So a lot of photographers were doing double exposure photos, and they're pretty cool photos to do. So I thought I'd show you guys how to make one in Photoshop because it's a cool trend, and you all are cool people and like trendy things, so here we go. So I just found a random stock photo of city lights, but you can use any kind of cool stock city lights photo you like. I haven't tried this out with any other stock footage like, hallways or street lights or whatnot. I've been using it mostly with city lights kind of photos, and it works really well. But I will tell you that everyone's photo will have a different outcome because you have to use specifically whatever photos you're using. And every photo's got a different outcome because you're going to have different color hues than I will. But this is basically how you're going to do it. So, you paste on your background photo, and then you have to grab another photo, and I'm using a photo of this girl here. I found this on deviantart.com. Whomever you are, you're cool, and you work well with my video, so thank you. So you want to make sure that the background in your photo is quite dark, not too dark, but also not too light, because if it's too dark or too light, it won't shine through, and it will oversee the whole entire background photo, and it won't give you the effect you're quite looking for. So make sure your background's kind of dark. I don't want to say completely black background, but I also don't want to say completely not black, but I also don't want to say it's too white. So I chose a photo with a kind of brownish black kind of hue to it. That's what I liked, and that's what I went with, and it worked really well with this particular photo. But again, you'll have to trial and error and choose which ones go with your photo, because everyone's going to have a different outcome for every city lights photo or whatever background photo you choose. So just to let you know that that's what's going to happen. So once you've done that, go ahead and change your lady layer or your person layer to screen. And you'll then see how she blends in really nicely with this background I chose. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see something too white, because if it's too white, it'll completely delete almost the whole entire image, and you don't want to have that. So make sure you're choosing the image that gives you a subtle tone and blends in quite nicely. Now, as you'll notice, parts of my city lights are blocking her eyes. I'm just going to go ahead and down to my city lights background and add a mask layer, and I'm going to mask out the parts I don't really want to have showing, and that's just the eyes for me. But if you have other things you don't want to have seen, that's fine. Go ahead and mask those out. I'm going to mask out this part too. Okay. So, that's my masked out part there. That's all I need. I'm good to go. I'm going to then add a black and white adjustment layer above the entire thing. And you can adjust the black and white to your discretion. No set numbers here. So I'm not going to zoom in quite on this one, but if you want to see, and you can adjust it to however dark or light you want it. I'm just going to go for a very kind of dark light exposure, but if you want to have it really light or really bright, go for it. Okay, I think that looks good to me, but that's, my decision. You can have your choice. Okay, so once you've done that, then you want to now above the girl layer, but not above the black and white, add a curves adjustment layer. Now this is going to have to be a clipping mask layer because you only want to have it on the girl, not the complete background. So make sure you click the paint bucket thing right there. And now, this is where it's going to be a little hard, but also a little simple. Up here on the left, you'll see this click and drag tool. This basically makes it simpler for you to actually change the hue of your image rather than going here and typing in a bunch of random numbers or messing with this. So click on this and just drag the image upward to go white lighter, and then if you want to make it a bit darker, then move it down. I really like how that looks right now, so I'm going to leave mine right there. But again, if you want to make it darker or lighter, go for it. That's your choice. So I like that. Alright, now you may need to add another adjustment layer. If you don't like how the background's too dark or too light, you can add another curves adjustment layer like we just did, but above the background layer. You could do that if you need to, but if you don't, that's fine. You can leave it as is. Now, to go a step further, I'm going to then, above the black and white layer, I'm going to add another adjustment layer, but a gradient map adjustment layer. And I'm doing this because I want to add a subtle color to it, but not too much color. I'm choosing this right here, and this is also already in my swatch, but you may not have this color particularly. I'm pretty sure you won't, but if you do, cool. I just chose a blue hue like this. I'll give you the numbers because you might want to have the exact right here, so I'll zoom in for you there. Awesome sauce. And then I chose a rather creamsicle color or creamy color over here of such. Oh, right. Now I'm going to click OK. Now you don't need to reverse this one. If you play around in your gradient maps with other colors, you may need to reverse them, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. If I was going to use this color here, I would need to reverse that because if you can clearly see, it inverts the whole thing and it looks retarded. So we're going to reverse that, and you'll see that if you were to go and overlay it, it would look pretty cool. I just didn't like that particular look on her, so I chose that particular hue like here. I'm going to need to unreverse that because it looks weird. So there we go. Now, you can play around with your blend modes and see which one looks good to you. I happen to think overlay looked really nice. But again, it was soft light. See, if you play around with these, you'll eventually find one that works best for you. Multiply. Ooh, I really like that. But I think I'm going to have to down the opacity slightly because I don't want to give it too much. That is really awesome, guys. So that's basically it. Play around with your blend modes, play around with your color swatches and gradient map, and whatnot, and boom, you have a great looking double exposure photo. And I guarantee you'd be the talk of the town with this particular effect. So if you're a photographer, if you're a Photoshop nerd like me, this is something I'm telling you, you have to try this out. But again, you'll have to play around with each photo and stock image because not every photo will have the same outcome. So yours may not look quite good as mine, but it should look similar. So happy photoshopping, and I will see you guys next week with something even more awesome. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If it weren't for all 9,000 of you plus of you, I wouldn't be on this planet doing what I do on YouTube. So thank you. You pay the bills and you're awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.